Hello Ali, thank you for choosing Improve IELTS to get audiovisual feedback. With this writing correction service, you can improve your IELTS score so you can achieve your goals. I'm going to show you my corrections and explain how you can make your IELTS writing better. Then I'll give you a summary report and give you an estimated score in this IELTS practice test. When I send you this video file, I'll also send you all the corrections in another file. Okay, Ali, let's take a look at your writing. I see you've done a task 2 practice test here. So you need to spend about 40 minutes on this. Hopefully you did that and you managed to practice this within the time limit. It's good to practice against the clock. Let's just take a look overall. I can see some paragraphs there. What I do notice is a couple of things. First, in the middle here, there's a paragraph that seems to be very short. In fact, looking at it, it's just one sentence. Now, a paragraph needs to be 3 sentences or more. The other thing I noticed here, the number of words, 365 words. Now let's go back to the instruction. Minimum 250 words. So you've written quite a lot more than that. The examiner's not looking for lots of words. As long as you write 250 words, it's enough. So try to concentrate on the quality of your writing, not the quantity. Let's go back to the task. So what do you have to do here? You have to discuss both views and give your opinion. Let's identify the views. So some people believe the aim of university education is to help graduates get better jobs. So there's one view. Others believe there are much wider benefits of university education for both individuals and society. There's a second view. So you have to discuss both of these views and, importantly, give your opinion. Let's have a look at the detail. Let's take a look at the first sentence. So I'm going to write in the corrections for you here, Ali. In our era of globalization, the main idea of university, well, it's not really the idea of university, it's the reason for joining university. And how can we change this? It's getting a better job to improve people's education. University is to, let's change this, is to improve people's education and employment prospects. So you've got the idea of getting a job there with employment prospects, but what we have done here is we've changed the vocabulary. So instead of just repeating the language here, get better jobs, we've said improve people's education and employment prospects. That shows you have a good range of vocabulary. So try to get into the habit of doing that, paraphrasing what you find in the task. It's important to link your ideas to the task, but try to use different words so you can show that you have that vocabulary. Let's continue. Some people claim, without the S. Some people claim. Some people claim that the aim of university education. So again, we have this phrase, the aim of university education here. So let's try to change this somehow. We could change this to the principal objective. Okay, so the principal objective of university education, so we could change university education again to university studies. Of university studies is to help graduates jobs. So again, we got this phrase here, haven't we, to help graduates. So instead of help, we could use the verb assist. We could use assist graduates in getting jobs. So assist somebody in doing something. Okay. Some people might argue. So again, that's quite similar to this, isn't it? So you could just simply change this to others. Others might argue that the goal of university, is spelling mistake there. So goal is spelled like that. So the goal of university education is not just to help graduates get jobs. So we've had get jobs before. Let's say secure employment, which is another way of saying get jobs. But also there are much wider benefits. Wider benefits, yes. So we've had this up here as well, haven't we? Wider benefits. So there are, we could say, instead of much wider benefits, there are distinct advantages. Of university education for both individuals, plural, and society. Okay, this essay is going to discuss and evaluate the reasons of both sides. This essay is going to discuss and evaluate, that's a good phrase, but we need to change this a bit. The reasons of both sides. We could just simply say to evaluate both viewpoints. Okay. Viewpoints like points of view or opinions. Let's move on. The perspective of the university education. Well, we don't need the definite article there because we're talking in general terms about university education. So we can say the perspective of university education is to help. Well, a perspective isn't to help. So you've got the perspective of university education helping students, don't need the capital there, students, again we have get better jobs, so we could say instead of get we could use the verb obtain, and instead of jobs we could say employment. So is because of the following reasons. Because of something, so because of the following reasons. Firstly, so introducing the point here, and that's good. Firstly, the qualifications are important for both to get a job. Okay, so qualifications are important for getting a job. For getting a job, and also for achieving job promotion. Okay. For example, to become a pharmacist, qualifications are necessary to work in pharmacy. That's a nice sentence, and it's absolutely true. And what you're doing here is using your knowledge from your own experience. So that's a good example to use to support your point. Let's move on. Secondly, many company, well, you need to have the plural here. If it's many, it's companies. Might judge, check the spelling of that as well. Might judge on a person, judge a person. Go directly to a person there. Judge a person by qualifications. For example, and again, many companies, and this needs to correspond to, and organizations want a qualification. Well, it's not the companies and organizations that want a qualification. what the companies and organizations want is they want to see evidence of a qualification to get a promotion. Again, they're not getting the promotion. It's not the companies and organization to facilitate, because they're actually giving the promotion. So facilitate a promotion. Well, we could just say, actually, to emphasize who the promotion is for, promotion of employees. Okay. So now we come on to this very short paragraph. Let's just have a look at the content. Others, however, argue and believe. So it looks like you're introducing the other viewpoint here. And that's okay. So, and this carries on in the same way because you're talking about the individual benefits. Okay. So what I think you can do here, and I'll leave you a comment here, you can actually attach this to the next section. And that can become a paragraph. So put this at the beginning of the next section to make a full paragraph. Okay. Make a full paragraph. Okay, let's take a look at the language here. So when you're introducing the second viewpoint, you're referring to people here and what they think, what they argue and believe. So you say others, however, and that's good to use however, because you're introducing a contrast here. Others, however, argue and believe that the university education, again, we don't need the definite article there. We're speaking general terms about university education. And we need a verb here, is not just for getting jobs. So again, we could paraphrase getting with finding jobs, but also that there are many benefits, individual benefits. So how could we paraphrase this? For each person. Okay, so benefits for each person. And society, spelling there, society as a whole. It's a good phrase to use there. Okay. Let's carry on. So in terms of individually benefits, so okay, this has been repeated quite a lot. Let's change this in terms of, so instead of talking about individual benefits, we could say advantages for the individual. So in terms of advantages for the individual, there are a lot of this kind, so a lot of, we could use better vocabulary here, I think. There are numerous. There are numerous benefits. Okay. Firstly, so the first benefit here, by training their minds, train somebody to do something, so their minds to develop their interests. Spelling there of interests. Secondly, enhance their problem solving. Okay. So secondly, by enhancing, so another benefit here, by enhancing their problem solving skills we talk about. Critical thinking and logical thinking. We don't need to repeat thinking now, we can just say critical and logical thinking. Okay. Finally, and we're going to carry on with the corresponding grammar here. Finally, by helping graduates finally, by helping graduates become independent. Spelling of independent there. Okay. To live away from their parents and grow up. Well, I think possibly a better phrase here instead of grow up would be gain maturity. For example, university, again without the definite article. It's good to have an example to support it here. For example, university teaches them how can they depend. So yeah, it's not a question here, so we need to change the grammar. How they can depend on themselves. Which is the idea of independence then. They can depend on themselves to face difficulties is good. Spelling there, themselves to face. Yeah, you could say to face and overcome difficulties. Good, let's carry on. So, in terms of society benefits, okay. In terms of, let's change this. Gains. So gains is like benefits. Gains for society. Got this idea of the benefits for society there. Yeah, you've had firstly, secondly, finally in the two previous paragraphs. So it's getting a bit repetitive here. So we'll just take that out for the moment. So in terms of gains for society, more jobs created. More jobs are created. Passive voice. More jobs are created by professionals. Yeah. Fewer unemployed people. That makes the point. That will decrease the number. That will decrease the number of crime issues. Now, so instead of secondly, we can use a different word here to indicate introducing a new point. So we say furthermore. Furthermore, it's an investment for the country. Graduates, oh, now you're explaining why it's an investment. Furthermore, it's an investment for the country as graduates, that's giving the reason now, like because, as graduates will contribute to the country's economy. Good, you finished that sentence well. And instead of saying finally, because we've had finally a couple of times before, we could just say moreover to introduce the last point. Moreover, to make this a complete sentence, we would say moreover, it will encourage a country's development. For example, there are positive relationship. Well, it's singular, isn't it, if it's relationship? So there is a positive relationship between a domestic workforce quantity. So I think what you want to say here is domestic workforce and supply of jobs. Okay. Good. Let's get to the last paragraph then. So you've covered, just going back to the task, you've discussed both views. What we're looking for then is your opinion. Let's take a look at your last paragraph. So in conclusion, okay, that phrase is fine at the start of this paragraph. So you're saying it can be easily seen from these examples. Nice phrase, and that does show your voice. So your opinion is coming out considering the previous discussion. Okay, that's good. So in conclusion, it can be easily seen from these examples, okay, because it's plural, it's these. So you need to put the S on examples there. These examples, it can be easily seen from these examples. Yeah, you're going to connect this better by just using that the main aim of university education, so purpose, we're paraphrasing, showing the examiner you have that vocabulary. The purpose of university education, okay, so instead of saying university education, which appears in the task, we can say higher education, because that's understood to be university education. So higher education. So the purpose of higher education, and we need the verb, is not only to help graduates get better jobs or promotion, or to get or promotion, yes. No need to repeat that. To get better jobs or promotion. Okay, it's turning into a very long sentence, this one. I think we're going to break it up a bit. So we can stop that sentence there. And now we need to change this. So you've said it seems, so you can say it seems that there are much wider, okay, much wider individual benefits. So again, we want to paraphrase, so greater, excuse me, much greater individual benefits. Okay, so benefits, much greater benefits. So instead of saying individual benefits, we could say benefits, much greater benefits for the individual. And here you're introducing some examples to support this. So for the individual, so you could say here, such as, yeah. So when you're introducing an example, use this phrase, such as, and then the grammar here, enhancing their problem solving. Okay, we had problem solving skills before, so we could say problem solving abilities. Excuse me. So problem solving abilities. Okay. Instead of problem solving skills, problem solving abilities. And instead of just repeating this as well, so we could say developing mental capabilities. mental capabilities, nurturing, their interests, spelling of interests, and helping them. Yep. Helping them to become independent. Again, the spelling of independent. Okay. Regarding society benefits, so yeah. We're just going to change this. Regarding gains for society, more jobs are created. Yeah, more jobs are created. Okay. More jobs are created. And there can be a decrease. In the numbers of crimes. Okay. In the numbers of crimes. So, people can participate in the country's development. So people can participate in the country's development. Okay. Good. So lots of points there, Ali. Lots to look at. Like I say, you will receive this in a separate document so you can go through this in your own time and check your mistakes. That's how you learn and improve your writing. Okay, so coming to your report then, Ali. It's your feedback report. We're using exactly the same categories as the examiners use. So we've got 4 categories here. The first one is task achievement. So what does this mean? Well, how well do you follow the instructions in the question? Coherence and cohesion. Are the ideas well organized, linked together and easy to follow? Lexical resource. Do you use good vocabulary? And the last section the examiner is looking for, grammatical range and accuracy. Do you use good grammar? So Ali, in terms of your writing, your task achievement, well, this is what I have to say. You have good organization of ideas and paragraphs. However, you need to avoid one-sentence paragraphs. A paragraph needs to be 3 or more sentences. The content you have is relevant. Aim for 270, 290 words. You don't have to go up to 365 in this task. It's quality, not quantity. Yeah? That's what the examiner is looking for. So in terms of linking the ideas and whether your writing is easy to follow, the thing I would say, Ali, is you need to use a variety of signalling words. What do I mean by signalling words? Well, these words firstly, secondly and finally, used very nicely, but too much perhaps. So look to use others, such as furthermore, moreover. That shows a range. Yeah. Lexical resource. Do you use good vocabulary? Try not to copy too much from the task. Copy the language. Try not to do that. You need to paraphrase more. Okay? So for example, the word benefits comes in the task. You can use other words like advantages or gains to say the same thing. Grammatical range and accuracy. There are a range of learning points, Ali. You need to go back and look at the detail, okay? There are a number of things. Plurals, for example. Singulars and plurals. Verb forms, yeah? Some verb patterns as well. So those are things you need to explore if you want to get a better grade. On this piece of work, though, I would say your estimated score would be 5.5. Okay, and what's letting you down here is perhaps the vocabulary. You're copying too much from the task, so not showing such a good range, and your grammar mistakes as well. Those are the two areas you really need to work on if you want to improve this score. If you look at these details, you can see what the examiner is looking for. So when you receive this document, go to these links and you will see the writing band descriptors that the examiners use themselves. So you can really see what they're looking for, and you'll see that it comes into these 4 categories. Okay, Ali, well done for practicing, and well, have a look at my notes. Watch this video as many times as you like to really learn how you can improve your writing, yeah, and achieve your goals. Do some more practice and send it to me, and we'll see how much you improve. Thank you very much for listening, Ali.